Hello, my name is QVV, and welcome to Purgatory. Today, I'll be reading a short story. If you wish to know more about the author of the short story, please look in the description box below. As for now, let us begin. My job is 30 minutes away. I live in a different town, so I have to traverse the country roads in order to get to my job. The roads that lead to my job are surrounded by fields and farmland. I've noticed an abandoned house that is next to one of the cornfields. I've never really thought much of it until the other day. It was about 6 o'clock in the morning. I was sipping my coffee and listening to music on my way to work when my headlights illuminated a deer carcass in the middle of the road. I slammed on my brakes just in time before hitting the deer carcass. I got out of my car. "Great," I muttered. I took off my work shirt and grabbed the deer's leg. I tried to pull it, but it was just too heavy. I had nothing in my car to pull it with, but I noticed the abandoned house was just down the road. I walked down to it in the dark. I found myself looking at the decrepit, weathered house. It was literally falling apart, so nobody could have lived there. I walked through the doorway and searched around for any kind of rope or something to pull it with. I ended up finding a room with the stench of rotting flesh. There was an even larger deer carcass strung in the ceiling there. A box full of dead rabbits, foxes, baby deers, and other small animals. I nearly threw up by the smell alone. Witnessing it made my stomach turn completely. I threw up all over the broken wooden floor. I sprinted out of the room and saw a rope laying on the floor. I snatched it and ran out of the house. I got back to the deer and tied the rope around it quickly. I pulled the rope and started running, and the deer followed. It dragged across the pavement until it hit the dirt on the other side of the road. I hopped back in my car and sped off down the road. I arrived at work 10 minutes early, covered in sweat. I sat in my car for a while, just trying to process what I had just witnessed. My boss knocked on my window and I jumped, startled. I rolled the window down. "Hey, are you alright?" "Yeah, I just had a lot of trouble on my way here." "Well, you look terrible. Why don't you go home and get some rest? I'll have someone else cover you for today." I thanked him and began my journey back home. As I passed the abandoned house, I couldn't help but look at it. There was something standing in the doorway. A deer-like creature on its hind legs. It had a deer skull, but a strange body. I'm not sure I can describe it. It was like a deer torso with deer's legs and human arms covered in deer fur. A shiver ran down my spine, and I just grabbed my coffee and took a large gulp. I turned my music up and tried to focus on the road. I started to feel hot. I turned on the air conditioner to full blast in hopes it would cool me down. After about 5 minutes, it felt even hotter. I decided to roll down the windows. I felt even hotter. I felt sweat dripping down my face. I wanted to pull over, so I glanced in my rearview mirror. I saw that creature sitting in my back seat. I spun around to discover there was nothing there. I turned back around to see a tree rapidly getting closer. I slammed on the brakes before I could hit the tree, and my body jolted forward, but my seatbelt caught me. I turned around, and there was nothing there. "What is wrong with me?" I said out loud. I called my friend to come pick me up and a tow truck to take my car back to my house. When my friend got to me, he saw what a mess I was. "Bro, are you okay?" he said in a worried tone. I got in his car and explained what had happened on the way back to my house. "You are still sweating. I think you should go to a doctor," he said. "I'm alright, I just need some sleep," I replied. Got out of his car and thanked him. I offered him some money, but he turned me down. I went inside and sat in my living room until the tow truck pulled into my driveway. I paid him and thanked him. Then he drove off. I went to lay in my bed. and ended up falling asleep. I woke up hours later from a nightmare in a pool of sweat. My sheets, shirt, and hair were soaked. I felt like I had a fever. I went to the bathroom and looked in the mirror. I saw the creature behind me and I screamed. I jumped on the counter and turned around. There was nothing there. I thought I was going crazy. I took a cold shower and got out. The sweating had stopped, and I looked at the clock. I had slept for 6 hours. It was now 2 p.m. I checked my phone and saw a text from my friend. He was just asking if I was alright, and I said, I think so. I just needed some rest. It had been a few days, and I still see the creature sometimes. I have random sweats and nightmares about the creature every night. I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't want to go to the doctor. I think I'm just stressed, but I'm getting worried. Please, let me know what I should do, or what that thing is that I keep seeing. Thank you.